Why the devil is this door out of the open? Oh, was that blasted Jill?
The masked servant.
Ah, my sun-baked friend. Any luck in old lady Surrey's tomb? Oh, good. Take a few. Ah, my sun-baked friend. Any luck in old lady's...
He places his hand on the artifact, and it drones in the demonic tongue. When, as one, I am slayer of sin and the bane of the living, restore my twin, make me whole. The object continues. In archive of old the blade resides, an isle of blood where demons abide.
It's true, then. Anathema, within reach. Tell me, is this all there was? There weren't any other curios in there? But of course. I consider it my scholarly duty to know what I can of them. Surely you of all people understand the quest for knowledge.
He breathes a long, lugubrious sigh.
It's time I leveled with you. This is the hand grip of the fabled anathema. A sword capable of annihilating anyone. Imagine it. Holding in your hand a force that could wipe away sun and shadow. A sword of life and death, miracle and sin. A sword of atonement. I can restore anathema to working condition, but this is only half of it. We still need the blade. How fortunate that the hilt has already told us where to find it. Blood Moon Island. Fascinating. And it told you exactly where to find it. Histories are wildly incomplete. But now I have a better picture of how anathema came to be. An exorcised demon living in a sword of glass. The hilt was brought here by one of the many Surreys. Not surprised. None of them sound too bright. I can't imagine having even half a demonic sword around was very healthy for that feeble-minded family. They probably winced whenever a black cat came around. You rightfully consider me a scoundrel, but I'd rather you think of me as a lovable scamp. Or perhaps you'd rather place your trust in someone else. Maybe Dallas. I'm sure she'd love to have a weapon that can destroy a god woken with a simple wink and nod. Well, well, well. You've got spirit to go with those smarts. Blood Moon Island awaits, my friend. It's a bit of a jaunt, but this gives me time to prepare my workspace. We'll catch up on the Lady Vengeance, yes?
Tarquin doesn't wait for an answer. His attentions are...
second time's a charm? Or have I asked too much of you? Second, I do. Well, I'll be around and about.
The dusty staircase leads to another hatch, which is blocked tight, straining and grunting.
I serve only one.
The spider spindles right up to you, her long, long legs tickling the sandy floor. A malevolent intelligence, her fangs drool venom that sizzle. The spider spindles right up to you, her long, long legs tickling the sandy floor. A malevolent intelligence gleams forth from 8 beady eyes.
Don't you know, my little pepper pot, that it's ever such bad manners to enter a queen's boudoir without permission? But
She shuffles her enormous body closer, looming over you until you are enveloped under her shadow. Venom sizzles to the sand from her fangs as you are pinned in place under all 8 of her eyeballs.
you come here for me. You desire another spider's kiss. How rude you are, Sugar Plum. But I'm not interested in you like that. So you are still prey, but of a different kind. I hunger, and I hear my fledglings blubbering in their loving cocoons. Time for us to feast.
Her fangs drool venom that sizzles on the sand. But there's no time to think about all that, because raising up on her hind legs, she pounces right at you.
fading.
You remember drinking ruby wine with Magister Boris in the armory after hours. You remember his deep hazel eyes, how he trembled as he kissed you. You remember all of it, the best night of your life. The hatch is blocked tight by the high drift straining and grunting. Your strength... The creature barely noticed. The servant emits a menacing... The dusty staircase straining and grunting. The servant emits a menacing growl.
Blessed bees.
The masked servant. Within the stone garden's walls, peace be thy
If she weren't blindfolded, I might think she's keeping an eye on me.
Here lies an unknown ne'er-do-well. Here lies an unknown thief who drank too much. Here lies an unknown tall man hires a priest with a heart stopped for a moment's peace to give great deal his real name to give him rest.
Locked.
The masked creature. The spirit cannot speak. The chest before you is, you hear.
This chest recognizes Consul Zara as master. Speak her words or return me to the flames.
With a quiet click, the lid of the chest swings open.
It's hard not to feel some... I watched an elf spend hours trying to force his way into a lizard's chest. Eventually, he threw it into the flames. But still it sits there. He did not leave empty-handed, unfortunately. this again.
Here lies the body of Riona Lee, drowned in the flood of '83. A passing drifter tried to save her, and himself was dragged under.
It's too heavy. Won't budge.
It ain't right promising bones they'll live again. You're God-woken, ain't you? You've a certain something about your aura. Don't ask me why. But someone out there's got it in for you and everyone like you.
The brother is at peace with himself.
Watching the birds pick your body clean is almost soothing. At least you know you're doing some good for a creature. And it means that elf ain't getting his claws on my corpse. Not mine specifically, but he creeps from grave to sepulchre, taking what he wants. Whatever he wants.
A grim expression passes across her face as she looks out over the graveyard.
The dead don't rest easy in this garden. Not by half. He lives in the big house by the gate. I ain't about to wander up and ask for a name, mind you. The less I see of him, the happier I'll...
The brother is at peace.
We died glorious deaths.
We were picked up by spies. That was no glory and no point, really.
The headless statue looms over you.
It's too heavy. Within the stone garden's walls, peace be thy immortal fortune. The spirit gives you a tortured glance. The spirit gives you a...
The spirit gives you a tortured glance. The spirit does not respond. The spirit does. The stag trophy stares outward with dull glass eyes, inscrutable and a little disquieting. A faint breath of chill air brushes the back of your neck. The gentle scrape of a sound, a foot or a hoof. The ghostly stag inclines its antlered head towards you.
For what prize would a foolish poacher discard his life? The answer lies at a halo of wildflowers. Seek it out, and heed the wisdom the poacher would not.
The spirit of the...
My head...
The spirit cannot speak. A spirit sits behind the grand piano. Her hand...
O'er black and white my fingers dart, as lost between worlds as I am. O'er globes they glide, o'er flats and sharps. Whither go they, Lord of Life? Direct them.
The echoes of a distant past.
My fingers are yours.
Before you stands the ghost of an older woman. Clad in flowing Magister's robes, she peers around the room as if looking for something lost. On seeing...
Magister Pavlonia. Charmed to meet you, I'm sure.
As she reaches for you, her hand passes right through your arm. She shrieks, horror animating her face.
Oh, my hand. My fingers. Well, really, I'm quite aware of that. But I am not fully myself. I keep forgetting things somehow. It's hard to hold all the threads together when you've fallen apart yourself. Wait, the spider! It was the spider! She chewed me. Bits of me. Slowly. I keep looking, but I can't find myself. Yes. I came from the Black Pits to negotiate with Riker here in his house. We needed to ensure that scoundrel wouldn't interfere with our plans there. He must have mixed something into the delightful rose tea he served me. And then... Next I knew, I was rolled up in webbing as his spider sucked the marrow right from my bones and nibbled my limbs off. I hope you didn't drink any tea downstairs. He's a master sorcerer. Everyone knows that. But he's too powerful to take to the joy. And besides, he had some business that coincided with Dallas's interests. Of course, if he were to act up, we could always work on his little vulnerability to fortify. So Dallas ordered him left alone, providing he didn't interfere with Magister business in the Black Pits.
She throws you a haughty glance. In the sharp lines of her face, you see steely determination overtaking the spirit's distracted manner.
None of your... Never...
The spirit does not respond. The spirit gives you a... The servant emits a menacing growl.
I've spotted something.
If you think the Master loves you more than he loves me, then, Dot, you're a bigger idiot than you look.
Master's the master. Master knows the dog is better than the cat. Master says good dog. Does Master say good cat? No. No, Master does not. See?
The cat gives the dog a long, languid look of carefully disguised contempt. Then she sighs and
Settle an argument for us. Dog's body here thinks that 'cause the Master is grateful for his, meaning the dog's, mindless devotion, he loves his dog more than he loves his cat. I, on the other hand, know full well that it's the Master's admiration for my general bearing, demeanour and intrinsic greatness what is most indicative of a state of actual love.
Master loves his dog. Master thinks his cat is cool. Not the same thing.
You're a moron.
No, I'm not. I'm black-brown.
See what I'm dealing with? Come on, settle the argument. Tell him he's wrong.
Dog.
Oh, cat.
Dog.
Oh, you're impossible.
the animals are...
Dog.
Oh,
dog.
Can't win.
I'll need to get clever with this lock.
Under lock and key.
No salvation, only sacrifice.
Scratching the pole does wonders for your nails. The servant emits a menacing growl.
Won't budge.
The shaggy dog keeps his distance, wary eyes sizing you up as his hackles rise.
You run away. Everyone here run away. All run from something.
He cocks his head to one side, confusion and suspicion wrinkling up his fuzzy...
I ran away from bad man. Very bad man. Man wanted to make me spider food. I know. I can sniff good and bad. Riker bad. Bad man. So bad. I liked his house. Big garden of stones. Lots and lots of bones to dig. Good, tasty bones. But when I sniffed him, how he is for true, I ran and ran and ran.
He paws a few tentative steps closer and sniffs all around you, nose wrinkling with concentration.
You good master. Good master.
He bounds forwards and licks your face effusively. His breath stinks of graveyard clay and ancient bones. Immediately, you feel an allergic reaction developing on your cheek. Hot red blotches spreading in and the dog scurries away to sniff about the area.
Run away!
Paradise Downs. Stone Garden.
Looks like this place has seen better days. Much better days.
Gareth toils in monotony. Gareth freezes, then turns slowly towards you. His breaths are steady, his voice a monotone.
I'm digging my murdered parents' graves. I'd ask that you show your respects.
Gareth moves to continue his task, but his cadence falters. He pauses. Silence hangs, begging to be broken.
No, of course you didn't. Godwoken, I've seen Seeker's blood seeping into the sand. I waded through corpses on the deck of the Lady Vengeance. But when the lifeless eyes looking back at you are your own mother's, I just didn't know. I didn't know what darkness lied beyond pain. Now, well, now I do. Dallas's pets. Such helpful tools they are, too. The abominations do the dirty work and the whites keep their robes clean. Convenient. They're still there, spreading their rancid smell through the house. Paladins came to clean up the mess. In the name of Lucian, they say, and they seem to believe it.
Gareth shies away from you. His eyes pass over the half-filled graves, and he takes a shuddering breath.
I'm the one who's prayed. An endless litany. How many pleas does it take? How many tears do I have to shed?
Gareth forcefully exhales and looks past you to the nearby house. You fear he might snap the shovel's handle in two.
Nerve tonic? I am not some frail child, and you are not my goddamned nurse!
You swear you hear Gareth's pulse, galloping faster than a saddled mount.
If you want to help, then you find the craven wight that ordered their slaughter. Anyone that stands between you and truth, no matter the flag they fly or creed they follow, make them bleed!
His clenched jaw tightens further, and then, in an instant, Gareth's guard is broken. Tears well in his eyes. With every blink, a pearl of grief falls to his cheeks.
My parents, they did nothing to deserve this. They were good. Honest. More honest than me. I'd give my own life to bring them back. I never got that last chance to tell them I loved them. I never got to say goodbye. You're right. There's nothing more to be done here. Lucian, forgive me. And please, Godwoken, please forgive me too.
Guard this door forever? Feed them like pets? Get yourself together, man.
Nice.
That thing isn't Donna. It isn't anybody. It's a monster, pure and simple. All of them are.
The two paladins Gareth mentioned are arguing in front of the door to the modest farmstead.
We're guarding this house. Wise to stay well back. There's a bunch of silent monks inside who've tasted blood today. Already killed in there, so they did.
They didn't kill anybody. The magisters who control them did.
You know Donna, she wouldn't hurt a fly.
Not until they turned her.
But they did turn her. And now she's not Donna anymore. Get it through your head. The poor creature should be put down.
No, wait! Surely, maybe someday they can be fixed. And all this source nonsense is over.
The other paladin rolls his eyes and shakes his head as he turns to face you.
In any event, it's our business, not yours. You just stay well away from the door and you'll be perfectly safe.
You can't do that. They were people who were loved. It's not right to butcher them like cattle. You're right. Here, take the key. We'll leave you to it.
You'll remember her as she was, Jad. The real her.
Paladin William nods his thanks to you, and with a laugh.
Fine.
I've spotted something. Everything is very dark all of a sudden.
Emaciated of body, this must be Donna, the one spoken of by the paladins guarding the door. She gives no indication at all that she has heard you, save the lumpen silent monk stands like a pillar of decaying flesh. So still it seems he, all of a sudden, like a bellows, he exhales.
May Gareth always choose the right path. Nothing we didn't see coming. We always knew Gareth was fated for greatness. As a boy, he'd leap through the fields with wooden sword in hand, slaying imaginary demons, protecting us from whatever evil he would dream up. We also knew that good men make enemies. We knew evil would come, and so it did. Not as a demon or as a witch, but as a man Gareth once knew as a friend. Jonathan. He watched eagerly as those shambling husks descended. It seemed like a game to him, like theatre. We would never blame Gareth. The righteous always pay a price. May the Seven will it. He will always be the hero we know him to be. We always want to believe in each other. It's what separates us from the void. It's what makes our existence worthwhile. It's what we do next that defines us. We can respond with treachery, or we can rise above. I trust that you will. May Gareth always choose.
The silent monk looks like one of her hands trembles. Twitching, it reaches out to you. Her hand is cold and smooth, like that of a porcelain doll. Jerkily, as if unused to movement, her lips part and her mouth moves. Did she whisper, "Save me"? Or, "Slay me"? Or did you only hear what you wanted to hear in the whispers of the wind? Slipping your hand free.
Boring.
This dwarven monk hangs his head, as if looking down at his feet. A wretched gurgling noise issues from him. He does not resist in the least. The silent monk stands with one arm, her eyes squeak.
Worms take you!
She stands right where you, her tears. Solid and immobile, he looks through you.
Meet your maker.
This Magister didn't die by a sword, anyway. Something